So the other question that I saw as well, Highcell says, do you think it's more complicated to release a project when you're a beat maker? For example, there's not necessarily a singer on the song. So to answer that question, it actually is far more simpler, and it really depends on what you want. But I'll tell you from my experience, I did not have a lot of people wanting to collaborate when I first started as well. I didn't have a massive base of people who just wanted to like sing over my beats. I became very fortunate, but I also realized how like beats and trying to like get people to get on it is another thing. So that's a whole nother thing. But if you just want to release your own music, it's fairly simple. If you've made the sounds, if nothing is like, if you don't have to like, if you're not sampling anybody else's music and you're just putting out loops of your favorite, beats that you've made, and you can just put it out, bro. It's actually fairly simple. It's a fairly simple process. I remember the first time I like released my own independent project. I actually had a free link on Mega Upload. I just don't want to drop a type beat, and something. I think with type beats are great, but then also type beats have also created this very unique, like, and how can I put it? It's like the way type beats have affected the way people are approaching producing. It's not about like creating your own thing. It's like, the type of beat this is for this. And so I think a different perspective, a different shift on perspective. And you know what? Actually, I'll tell you a little story. I just thought about this. I was in middle school, right? And I remember I just learned who Flying Lotus was. I just learned who Madlib was. I was in middle school, maybe 7th, 8th grade. I got deep into Los Angeles. I got deep into Sam I Am, Brain Feeder, Daedalus. I got deep into all those guys. And as well, I was not fully aware in the year 2007 to 2009, like Lil Wayne was like the biggest artist on the planet. Like, he was just the biggest artist on the planet for that like period of time. And so you can only imagine the type of beats people wanted to hear in a middle school where Lil Wayne type beat. And they just want to rap and then boom, boom, boom. But mind you, I'm also in middle school, right? I remember I went and had this one day, and I think I may have told you guys this, but I'm just reiterating it just for New Year purposes. I made a whole beat CD of beats that I had made back in 2009 and 2010. A lot of that stuff is Mr. Mockwell, alias stuff. So that's like the early era of it. But I made a bunch of those different types of beats, and I put them on a CD, and I was in this language arts class. Shout out to Mr. Campbell, rest in peace. He let me play my beats in my language arts class. Now, here's the craziest part. These beats contained a remix of I Millie by Lil Wayne, and it also had a bunch of experimental electronic hip-hop beat stuff. And so this is the same stuff I uploaded on YouTube. This is the same stuff that got me in the same connections, conversations with like Tech Lun and K Trinata and so forth. But I remember I had these beats on a CD, and I went to school super excited to play them. And I remember there was this one dude, I'm blanking his name, but he was like, yo, I need a beat with a drop. And I'm like, bet. I got the beat, and I remember this Lil Wayne remix. I didn't realize like he wanted the beat without a vocal, and all the other beats I had was not something he was interested in. And so I go into class, I have the CD, I'm hyped. I'm like, I'm about to play this beat for everybody. Everybody's gonna love this. Da 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 da. Mr. Campbell popped that CD in. The type of silence that hit the room once they heard, "Young Moolah, baby!" Dog. They were like, "Yeah, money." It was like the whole classroom got quiet. And I'm thinking like, yo, they absorbing this. They absorbing this. And I'm like, yeah, y'all wasn't ready for this. I look over at everybody in the classroom. I'm looking at Mr. Campbell. Mr. Campbell looking here like, I see my homie, Zach. He was looking at me too. And then he looked down. And I noticed everybody was looking down. And I'm looking at everybody like, why y'all looking down? And then all of a sudden I heard somebody say, "Yo, man, turn this BS off." I'm like, yo, what? The whole classroom was like, this is terrible, dog. I'm sorry. You might have to go back to the drawing board with this. Talk about emotional damage. I was cooked. And all I remember was that like I really wanted to share my beats. And this is a heartbreaking part too. I was so passionate about music. And to see like the entire classroom, except for two of my homies, be like, yo, this is cool. My entire classroom, one of the girls, she was like, you really need to consider doing something else because this is not good. And I was like, if anybody suggests that I need to do something other than from what I want to do that I love, I obviously need to change something. So from that day, I remember I played the same CD for my science teacher. And he loved it. He was like, yo, I've never heard anything like this. Shout out to Mr. Knopp, Brad Knopp, one of the coolest teachers I had. He was my science teacher. He was also a singer too. He made music. So it was like we understood each other, but he was a really cool teacher. But I remember in that classroom, that moment I had where I was like, I need to get better at what I'm doing. But I also realized too, with the demographic of people that I played that music in front of, none of them really listened to that kind of music. Nobody was really rocking with Adult Swim and the music they were playing in 2009 like I was. So then I go online, take the same exact music and post it and realized there's a whole demographic. There's a whole demographic. And people accepted me. They accepted me with open arms. They accepted me with the sound that I had. A lot of it was a little bit challenging, I'll admit. It was very experimental. But I realized there are people out there that want to listen to that as well. So never discount or discredit whatever you make as it's not like what other people are making. Trust me, it might be what people need to hear. So bump the type beat, bump this, bump that. Do whatever feels right creatively for you and just get better, improve. Every release, matter of fact, y'all can go back and peep this. Every single project I've ever dropped, you will hear in some instance how I improved on what I was doing. I'll say somewhere between 2010 and 2014, I started to understand that music is a journey. And Flying Lotus was one of the first guys to teach me that. But dude, I learned how to create a story of music. If y'all ever want to get curious, I have a project back in 2012, a little over 12 years ago, called Preflamella. I'll actually drop a YouTube link of this album to you guys for y'all to check it out. But this is like one of my first. This is like my first album, and I'll copy this link address and I'll drop it in the Discord. Share your music. My first legitimate album. Let's see here. So this is my first album called Preflamella, and I'll show y'all right here. These songs came out back in 2012, but I look back at it and I think like, man, like there was a demographic for people who wanted to hear this kind of stuff. It was this is the origin behind me knowing how to take music and flow into it. But like I didn't understand mixing that well. I didn't understand dynamic range. I didn't know what I know now. But if you listen to that project and listen to what I make now, I've grown, and I'm continuing to grow. So, half cell, bro, drop the music, put it out, make a cool visual that you like looking at, and drop it. Put it out as singles if you want. If you want to play the social media game, that's cool too. But put the music out there, bro. Put it out there because someone needs to hear it. And if you're listening to it, you're the first person that hears it. Who else likes it, it doesn't matter. It's a matter of what you like. You know? And if you really rock with it, if your spirit is connected to it, other people are gonna like it too. I digress though. Fear Rep says, has you ever felt like you became great? You know, I'll be honest. I feel like I am like really, really good at what I do. But boy, oh boy, I feel like I often meet people or meet a certain thing that makes me realize like, oh, I need to get back in the gym and work on that jump shot. Or like a good analogy is a good analogy that I can use is like when Kobe won that first three-peat and he went through that 2005 to 2008 period where he had to become a leader of the team. Of course, he was like, you know, him and Shaq. Shaq was obviously like the leader of the team, but the best player, that's a whole nother discussion. But Kobe couldn't be that same guy back in 2001 to 2004. You look at the other championships he won, he had to develop a new skill. And if you look at his abilities of how he played Kobe Bryant, shout out to Kobe Bryant. Year of Kobe. Kobe actually had a very vicious post game, but it's because he sat down in the gym with Hakeem Olajuwon, one of the greatest post-game basketball players ever. And literally was like, I gotta learn how to shimmy. I gotta learn how to turn. I gotta learn how to, because all those things made him better. So I feel like with music is doing the same thing. I need to get better at mixing too and sound selection. Hey, that's why the gauntlet exists. And for those of you guys who don't know what the gauntlet is, every day you need to make, and you know what? This is gonna be the challenge for the rest of this year. I'm trying to see who's gonna make like very, very consistent, create very consistent music this year. If you're watching this, the gauntlet challenge is this. Every day, weekdays, you make 3 beats and spend 30 minutes each on all of those beats. Now, once you spend 30 minutes on each one of those beats, go back and note what was important to you, what you noticed about what you created, and take note of what you like to use. And apply that to everything that you make. You will now notice with the gauntlet that You'll start noticing that you approach things similarly. You'll notice that you like to do certain things, but take that as like a thing of getting better at your craft, becoming a master of your craft, that is. But have I ever felt like I became great? Man, shoot, I feel like I am great, but there's so much room for improvement. I want to be able to one day just sit down at a piano and then craft a song. But the only way to be able to do that is if I play a lot, which, to my own detriment, I don't play as much as I should. This year, that changes. This year, that changes. I will never, ever walk into another room again and not have an idea or have a thought of what I want to play. But, Crash said, just got back from a family outing. What's good? What did I miss? You ain't miss much, bro. You did not miss much. I'm also getting my first swig of the yerba. DJ Fando said, how would you approach dropping a wide variety of different genres? To be honest with you, big dog, drop everything as a cohesive project. The reason I say that is because my projects, I personally feel, are a combination of different genres that blend together. I couldn't use it. I'm using the same kick on 91, but it's because I just messed. That's your sound, Sesh. That's your sound. And no one can take that away from you either. If you like using that kick drum, use that kick drum. And then as you keep messing with it, you're going to find something to like make it even better. You found something that works. For anybody that find that one drum or that one shot, that one kick, you just found your sound. You just found something that sounds like you. You like using the piano and that piano resonates with you. You put it on everything. I put that thing on everything. That's your sound. That's your sound. Or at least the beginning of it. As well, Set Zero just said, see, for me, I get this imposter syndrome. Whenever I feel like I'm doing something amazing, I start comparing with other producers and start doubting. Awful feeling, but it's better. It's getting better. I will tell you verbatim, the thief of all joy is comparison. Like, the thief, if you want to have your joy taken away, do not ever compare yourself to someone else, because that other person who created what they're doing had to go through a whole different story than you to get to that sound. Maybe you just learned about someone who has a sound that is meeting you right where you are. But what they went through, you haven't experienced that. God forbid you got to go through the same things in order to get that sound. Like, even how I got my sound by going through a lot of trial and error. I've had way more flops of a beat that exists on my hard drives than the ones y'all have like heard. Of like 200 beat videos, no, I take that back. Over like 300 beat videos that I've probably posted over the last like 3-4 years, maybe about 400 of them weren't good. They just weren't. And it wasn't good because I was comparing it. It was just because I didn't feel it. I didn't feel like I was connected to the beat. And I had to think about, like, what am I making this beat for? Am I making it because I really enjoy making music? And I realize now I actually really enjoy making music, bro. I really enjoy it. That's why I come on here, get on the Twitch stream, and y'all drop a little sound. It resonates with me. And if I start messing with something, I really feel it. That's just straight up how it goes. So if you ever see me like use something that you created, or if you make something on the Discord and I'm like playing it over and over and over again, you and me just connected, okay? We just connected. That can never be changed. A human connection can never be replaced at all. That. And so, yeah. Big Bad send mine in the sample library. Yeah, drop y'all samples in the sample library. And if you guys want me to flip some samples, drop it in the inbox. I didn't even mean to talk about that today. I meant to at least mention something about what you call it. I meant to say something about music business stuff, but I started talking about motivational stuff. Current music is in that. This is so ironic because I literally just got done making a Wayne type beat, bro. Definitely not feeling called out right now. And now there's no condemnation for people who make type beats, okay? If you make a type beat, make the type beat. Put it out. But on the flip side, for people who want to just make their own thing, it's a different thing. Topaz Zora says, any advice for finding your audience? Or do you feel like it's more a matter of truly creating from a place of authenticity and letting the audience find you? That is... You just answered your question, dog. You have to create from a place of authenticity, man. It's But what I can't answer, though, is this. I feel like the algorithms reward consistent themes, genres, in terms of reaching audiences, but not trying to box myself in. You know, okay, I can try and address this real quick. Algorithms, and you know what? We're gonna replace this word, okay? Someone quote this and put this down in the chat, because what I think we need to do going into this new year, because it's only January the 2nd, and there's a lot of game I'm giving y'all about someone needs to save this next quote that I'm about to say. Replace algorithm with people. Don't say algorithm no more. We ain't saying algorithm moving into 2024. No. Do not say algorithm. And I'll tell you exactly why. An algorithm. Let's go to the dictionary and look up what an algorithm is. Algorithm definition. All right. Algorithm, verbatim, is this: a process or set of rules to be followed in calculations or other problem-solving operations, especially by a computer, a basic algorithm for division. What is an algorithm in simple terms? It's a set of commands that must be followed for a computer to perform calculations or other problem-solving operations. And you know what the issue is? You know what the issue is? We have given this device so much power that we totally forgot how much power we really got. This thing here, are we really making music for this thing? Or are we making it for the people who are buying this? We are not using algorithms anymore. Replace algorithms with people. So, how can I reach people? You need to connect with people, right? So this is what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna write this down. This is gonna be the game plan for people, right? All of us are friends, or all of us are in the Discord community, right? So even though there's about 2,000 people, two plus thousand people are part of the Discord. And I'm gonna write this down in my notes, because this is gonna be a game plan, okay? Coincidence, I don't think. I'm gonna write this down, okay? Let me write this down. So, algorithm. We are replacing with people. How do I reach people? Something a friend of mine told me a year ago was that it's actually fairly easy to get people in the same room if you are supplying something that people are interested in. So let's take, for instance, concerts. People love to go to concerts. People love to go to live shows. Who's performing? Kendrick Lamar is about to go to the show tonight. You could go to the show and specifically go to hear Kendrick. Or you could go to the show to connect with the community of people who have one thing in common. You know what that one thing in common is? Kendrick. So you have to be amongst a group of people to connect. How do we connect? Find a similar theme or something you can relate to someone. Because the only way you can have a relationship is if you relate to somebody. If you comfortable with it, go for it. Yeah. If you comfortable, go with it. Go for it. I'm gonna write that down. Joe Tita, write that down. I'm gonna tag you in it. Let's say you don't want to talk in person. You don't want to talk in person. Go to Instagram. Go to Instagram and see when Kendrick posts that flyer. See who comments on it. Peep the mutuals of all those people who's going to see that same show. You might know one or two people. So audience, your audience is people who you relate to and they relate to you. I'm gonna let that sit for a second. An audience is who you relate to and who relates with you. And you know, one thing that brings people together is music. So if you have music, those one or two people that comment on your post whenever you drop something, actually connect with them. Don't just let that person be a still sitting comment. Engage. Watch this. Engage with the people who have commented on your stuff. Engage with the people who like your stuff on Instagram or wherever. A few friendships or a few connections is all you really needed to get started. This is a simple way of how you can find your audience. People who believe in the same thing as you. Literally engage. Like, I'm talking to you, right? Like, you know, okay, this is a good engagement experience, right? Let's say homie going to a show, right? Let's say you go to a show and you go to a show, you see everybody vibing, someone's performing, but then you see this one guy on his phone. We know who that guy is. Y'all have seen people be at shows and flat out not even looking at the guy performing, they just on their phone. And you're like, bro, You don't even see that the person you came to see is looking right at you. Social anxiety. You know what? This is why I love doing shows. Because I'm the type of dude where I'm like, hey, I'm going to dap you up. I appreciate you for being here. Anybody who's ever seen me live at a show, before a show, after a show, Shabal B will tell you, Creation will tell you, I'm not afraid to be like, yo, what's good? Y'all good? Straight. That's just how I am. But it took me a minute to get there. I used to be very nervous. I used to be very standoffish. But you don't always have to meet people that way. You can literally meet other people with social anxiety, and then be cool with them. We all know one buddy that's like a little standoffish, but he cool. Fear of crowds is a real thing, but I don't have that fear, but my friends of mine do. Now, question: how did y'all become friends with people? Y'all had something that y'all related to, so now y'all homies. Now, Crash, question. Because of the fact, because you said I do have social anxiety, right? If you have social anxiety, would you feel more comfortable talking to a stranger or someone from the Discord? Like, let's say you meet someone from the Discord. Would you be more inapt to like connect with someone you've made a beat with on Twitch stream or on the Discord? Or you just completely avoid it, you wouldn't talk? Because I have a point to get across, because I have to ask this question. Discord, okay, so why? Why are we not normies? Tell me exactly why. Discord, but they'd have to introduce themselves or yell my name. Discord, you already know, have a common ground. So how you find your audience? How do you reach people? You meet people or reach people who are on common ground. You guys have already been congregating here. And the fanciest part about this is there are people who have already experienced life in a very similar way as you. They're probably just like you. Who knows? Y'all end up going, like, let's say hypothetically speaking, I put together this Twitch stream, Discord, get together thing where like in a certain city, I'd be like, yo, let's all link up. Boo, boo, boo. And we link up. Someone is gonna introduce somebody else and be like, yo, can I bring my homie? Yeah, sure, bring your homie. Homie comes. Now you got one new homie added. Because of what we've been doing congregating here, you can now add people to that. That's how you grow a audience. That's how you grow. You basically find or reach people who are doing the same thing. They're relating to you to some degree. Maybe we make beats together. Maybe we talk on Discord. Maybe I play a little video game with you. But that's it. We're doing something that connects us as people. So when you do meet someone, or if you want to grow something online, you just did something, aka post a beat, and maybe your buddies like anime. Maybe you might wear an anime hat, and you post a beat video of you wearing a hat. That's an anime hat. Someone's gonna comment on it and be like, yo, I watch One Punch 2. I watch it too. I watch that. Someone's gonna connect. They're gonna see that. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a different energy, and that's how building an audience should be. It's your friends. Tell your friends to go and get friends. But no cap, that wasn't even enough for everyone to vibe. Yeah, it takes more than just music. It takes You gotta like, hey, bro, do you like this type of music? And then someone says, yeah, that's a way to connect with people. The way you build rapport and relationships with people is that you connect with them. You talk to them. You say, hi, how you doing? Nice to meet you. I see you just posted something cool. Small ways that you can engage. That's how you engage. You engage by building relationship. Engage by talking to someone else. Even if it's something as simple as like, yo, I just saw you post that anime joint, bro. This was in UK. People here are awkward. That's crazy. But yeah, this is a basic note. Replace algorithm with people. How do you reach people? You have to be amongst a group of people to connect on common ground. Find a similar theme or something you can relate to. If you're comfortable with it, go for it. An audience is who you can relate to. And that's why currently in this present day, it's really weird to see people who are in the music business and they have a great, massive fan base, but never talk to them one day out of their busy schedule. That is crazy. Dog, if I had at least a unction of half of the folks that I see some of these artists, bro, I'd be like, yo, man, I'm gonna take this percentage of people, invite like 50 of them, and be like, yo, let's all rent out a castle and like link up, and I'm gonna play some of my new music for you. Taylor Swift does that. Ryan Leslie did that. Matter of fact, hold on, I'll show you this last thing. This is all about building engagement. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Build engagement. Engagement building. Ryan Leslie. Y'all know who Ryan Leslie is? Ryan Leslie. If you don't know who Ryan Leslie is, you gotta look him up. GOAT. OG. Okay? So Ryan Leslie, Castle. Let's look this up. So let's see here. He like rented out a castle just so he could play his new music. Let me see here. I think I might have found out. Where is this thing at? I'm trying to find this thing because maybe I should have had like a prep for this, but this is literally just like a whole thing. Oop, I typed r.less. That Ryan Leslie video with the congas is fire. Right. But check this out. Superphone. So check this out. Ryan Leslie at one point knew Ryan Leslie knew with Superphone. I'm actually gonna try and find Superphone so I can show y'all what it is. But this is how he builds his engagement, right? So Superphone, and this is not me promoting a product. Kino producer, appreciate the raid, bro. All right, so hilariously enough, create engagement. Drive revenue, build your business with SMS relationship management from Superphone. Built for coaches, consultants, course creators, retailers, faith-based, and more. So, text message, the phone. Ryan Leslie was like, hey, bro, I'm gonna start this company where if I wanted to get the people who follow me to join in on what I'm doing, have them sign up for a text message. A text message. We all use our phone. Who isn't getting text messages? We're all getting text messages. Okay? We are all getting text messages. He knew there were so many people that listened to what he did. He put a whole MySpace out. Put a whole MySpace out. It was like, hey, yo, SMS this number. Now I'll text you right now. Man, had about 200,000 people. Of course, Ron Leslie's been doing this for a while. He realized that the phone number was the currency, man. He was able to engage because people was using their phones. He met them right where they were because 200,000 people love Ryan Leslie. More than that do, but you don't need a lot. You really don't need a lot. You just gotta be smart with the little. That's it. But I digress. I hope this makes sense to you guys. We are no longer using the word algorithm in 2024. We are using audience. Audience. The audience, okay? The people. Do not use algorithm in 2024. We are only using people. 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 That's who we're making music to show in front of. We're not making music for an algorithm. And if I ever make it seem like I'm making music for an algorithm, just know there's an audience of people who watch this Twitch stream and want to know how to do it too. That is how you can engage, connect, and grow. I'll drop this in the Discord for you guys. I'll even have the AI like clean it up. Algorithm. That's crazy. Chat GPT. Let me get this AI to do this. I'll probably talk about something else too. Clean this up. Expand the already created. Make it a statement. This is for independent creators. Reaching people is not about algorithmic strategies. It's about genuine human connections. To establish these connections, you immerse yourself in community where you share a common interest. You find things or topics that resonate with you and other people. If something feels right and allows your comfort zone, pursue it. The word algorithm should be remember, your audience consists of who you find a connection with what you offer. Engage with individuals who interact with your content, whether they comment, like, or share. Anybody who just like what you did, that's somebody you need to pay attention to. Don't try and get people who aren't listening to what you're doing. Get the people who are. It's about nurturing a community that relates to you as much as you relate to them. Jotita said that. This approach emphasizes the importance of being personal with your community building. I rest my case.